This is what coding looks like before it begins. Before I write a single line of code, there's a whole process that I go through. And it's not what you would expect it to be like. It starts off with very serious, very professional looking notes. These are my notes. I know. The notes are barely legible. You know, there are random arrows pointing to things, words crossed out, general chaos. But really what I'm trying to do at this point is trying to get whatever idea is stuck in my brain down onto the paper. It doesn't have to be like completely coherent. It just needs to make sense. Somewhat. And it does. Somewhat. So pretty much what I'm doing is I'm writing down what I want to build and how it should work, as well as how it needs to interact with other systems that have been previously built. So for example, with the input system, I need to figure out how it would work with my game loop. How is it going to work with the update function, with the draw function, all of those kinds of functions. These are all things that I really need to consider, and that's why I love the note-taking process, because it allows me to think of these things before I start coding. Okay, so after, I don't know, like 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour or whatnot, I have legible notes, clean notes, everything has been written down. I have a good project plan and I'm ready to go on to the next step. It's now time to move it online. So this is where I turn my rough draft plan on my notebook into a really coherent and cohesive plan. This is where I use Trello to do that. Now, the reason why I actually move my notes online instead of, starting to code right away is because sometimes things happen in life. Sometimes you find your notes in the trash bin with food all over them, and there's nothing you can do about that. So I would like to avoid that. I would like to avoid any of those issues because that's happened way too many times. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to, write down some pseudocode, aka fake code as I love to put it, task lists, whatever just helps me to see the shape of the thing before I build it. But see, the issue with me going online is that there are wonderful things to do online. By the time you know it, like 30 minutes have already passed, and what do I have to show? One card. But see, I like to reframe it as taking breaks. I'm basically doing the Pomodoro or whatever, the Pomodoro. Yeah, Pomodoro. You do 25 minutes of work and then 5 minutes break, or like 50 minutes of work and like 10 minutes of break or whatever. But see, I'm doing like an hour of work and then a 30-minute break and then another hour of work and then a 30-minute break. I don't even know. So after just getting everything on Trello, I'm now ready to actually go ahead and look at the code that I previously built to see how I could slot that new code into the code base. Basically, I'm just trying to remember, what I built so far. Now, when I go and read my old code, sometimes I have no clue what I was doing when I was writing that code. I don't know what I was on, or if I was sleep deprived, or if I was not thinking straight or something, but sometimes I really do make it hard for myself. When I have a lot of comments or a lot of good comments from self-documenting code, then there's no issue. Reading back, I'm just like, okay, I understand this. I know what I'm doing. But when I have no comments, when I have long variable names, I'm talking 32 characters, I'm just like, bro, what? Stop it. Stop. It's so ugly. It's so disgusting. Ugh. This is why I literally cannot go back to my school projects, because I just know I have a variable name called monthly total due amount or something like that. Eventually it does click, or it somewhat clicks. I don't know. It somewhat clicks. So at this point, I've planned out my input system on paper. I've moved it to Trello, and I've also looked at my old code to see how I actually created it before, as well as how it can interact with my other systems. So before I go ahead and I open my IDE to start coding, I go to sleep. Yes, you heard that right. I go to sleep. I know it sounds super duper weird, but I keep a blanket in this computer room for a reason. I just get tired. I don't know why. I'm ready to code. I've planned everything out, but then my eyes get drowsy and sleepy. And so I just go to sleep. You don't know how many times my parents have opened the door and they've questioned, like, why is she sleeping on the floor? It is a process and it works for me. I'm just here to show you that coding isn't all that pretty. Coding isn't all that amazing. No, I don't just sit down and magically start typing all the time, you know. It looks like this. So after my nice little power nap to, you know, recharge my brain, it's time for me to open up the IDE. I open up Visual Studio Code. That's when the coding starts.